Okay.
All right. Are we live? Are we
I think
live?
so. Yeah, it's doing something on that other side, but that's all right. That's all right. We're
Yeah,
not worried
there's a
about
little delay, so we can chitter chatter for a second
Yeah.
here. Also, I'm going to go ahead and share another link out just to make it a little easier for the world.
I love it.
We're streamlining. Whoops. We were going to hear an echo there for a second. Echo.
Thank you guys so much. We're getting all the technical links and the push there, go there, get it here, do it there.
Want to make it easy for you to join
Want to
me.
make it easy. Yes.
There are so many different ways, and I tell you what, they're always changing. They're always changing how to do it.
Always changing. Yeah.
Make
and that's
me
okay.
a crazy person.
That's okay. You know what? Because we, just make things a little more fun, a little more, you got to hold it here to the right side, get it over there to the left side. It is what it is, It is what it is. But we're very glad that you guys are here. We are we're working on getting the ball rolling here with the monthly Q&As. And why the Q&As? Because why not?
Yeah, it's kind of fun. I'm not going to lie. Maybe it's for us. I don't know. That's fine.
And that's okay. And I'm good with just us. I'm good with it's just for us. Because we get so many questions, guys. And sometimes it's when we hop on the podcast and we start recording, we're like, oh, we're going to talk about this. We're going to talk about that. And sometimes it's tough because, universe, the angels, whatever the situation is that's going on around both of us, kind of directs us in different ways and different directions. So the things that we want to talk about, we don't get to. So that's why we created this Q&A, live Q&A for not only you guys to ask us questions so we can answer them immediately, but also for, questions that we have gotten over the past, gosh, we've been doing this 2 years now.
It has officially been, because I believe it was November of the 2 years. So it's like 2 years and almost a half. We're almost a half, a 0.5.
A 0.5. Like it's kind of insane. I get asked all the time, like, why did you start this? I'm like, I said, honestly, for myself. Because the conversations.
Yeah. It was a way to evolve and grow with all of the things that you were working through, experiences and stuff like that. It was the next evolution, and apparently live streaming is the next evolution.
It's the next evolution. Yeah, because I love our conversations. Our conversations are so amazing. And the things that we talk about, it's real stuff. It's our lives. Hi, Holly, what's up?
Hello.
And it's also some things that are kind of difficult for us to talk about, but I think it's so important to really tell our stories and tell our kind of experiences of this worked for us, this didn't work for us, not to kind of push it on anybody like do this, don't do this, but more like, hey, this we tried out, or this I tried out really wasn't for me, at this time. And I really want to kind of say that because
yes, absolutely.
I was listening to our very first podcast. I was not very nice to therapy. I'm gonna say I'm sorry. Public, I'm sorry. Because honestly, it's like, and I've gotten asked this question, how do you know when you're healing? Like, how can you kind of gauge that? And honestly, like, this is a perfect example for myself, at least, is, I was so poo-poo with that because honestly, I wasn't really truly in the mindset, and really my nervous system was still just like all over the place. I didn't know, which way was left, which way was right. And, and I have a public apology here. Like that was my, I think my not sad self, but my really hurt and destroyed kind of self that was really speaking on that, not knowing the different modalities of types of therapy. Therapy for me was like just a certain thing because that's what I was taught. Like you go to therapy for this.
A
And
cookie cutter type thing.
yeah. Yeah.
And sometimes your body organically, and there's nothing wrong with that or yourself in that way for not being an energetic alignment for that in the moment. Perhaps you needed something more organic to get you to a space where you'd be able to receive that. So it's just about mixing in how to level into the area where that could be beneficial for you. But you needed something more organic, homegrown, soul, a little something different to get you to a space where that might be better. Does that make any sense what I'm saying?
For sure. For sure.
Yeah.
Like
Maybe you can't start one there.
Yeah.
Start
like
one step.
like a back to basics, if you will. You know what I mean? Like starting, you know, from the ground up, because that's really like we were just talking about, like evolution, like doing these live streams, doing the podcast, or doing a book, or whatever that thing is for us. It is that next step, you know, not step ahead or step forward or anything like that, but I think that next step into really understanding, okay, I'm in a different kind of headspace, energy, alignment with myself, because that's really truly what it is. It is that relationship with self. Because there are so many things around us, and there's so many different healing modalities around us. And I think it's really, really important for all of us to really understand that it's that relationship with ourselves first that we need to work on and deal with, or whatever. And then we can move on to all the other crazy, wild things that are happening around us, or the experiences that we had, you know, in our lives, to be able to kind of, okay, now I have the tools, you know, to be able to deal with X, or to work through X.
Yes.
You know,
100% yes.
Yeah. You know, and it's healing is really, it's a lifetime journey, you know, because the thing that we thought was we were okay with, like we dealt with, quote unquote, you know, or we got over, that's the big word. Oh, I got over that. But something just very minute, or a scent, or a song, or something that you see, or an experience that you have again, kind of like shakes us up a little bit, and we're like, wait a minute, and I thought I was done with that.
Yeah, and I don't like that verbiage, that those choice of words that culturally, you know, that we use. That I get over it. We don't get over it. We heal through it. We get more back to us, perhaps, but we don't get over it. Like, I don't know who thought of that back in the day, but I don't like it, and I want to tell you that.
We're going to change that.
It doesn't. I mean, anyone who's gone through traumatic stuff, whether it is someone passing, losing a career, your pet, you know, relationship, losing yourself, you know, it comes in all forms, guys. That is not a term that works. Anybody can look back and say, well, that doesn't quite fit now, does it?
Yeah.
You know, got over it. It's a very generic, push through, overgeneralized, I don't want to deal with it sort of term that perhaps it was created, don't know, I'm just speculating to the world, perhaps created by someone externally not able to deal with the emotions that the person was having. You know.
For sure. You know, and it's interesting that you say that, because that is kind of, and you know, and I had a conversation at the beginning of the year, and I haven't put the podcast episode out, but we were discussing just the different things of what people say, and it's exactly that, is they say this, and they're on certain platforms or certain, you know, back in the day, it was like, if you had, you know, the means, you were able to put out the book and get it out to, you know, the people and all this stuff, you know, that kind of thing. So your message or your thoughts were the quote unquote norm. You know what I mean? And it's not, and I think it's definitely not like that now, because there are so many different forms of communication, the cell phone, the Instagrams, the TikToks, the whatever. that we are able to voice our opinions and our thoughts. And I think now, over the last maybe few years, maybe a little bit more, but for me, the last few years, I notice people, you know, reverting back to like, okay, those words don't fit anymore. You know, like you were just saying, getting over doesn't, like, you get over the mountain, not over your traumas. You know what I mean? It's like it's how we kind of speak to ourselves and how we speak to others out there. I think it's just so important, you know. And for the lack of not knowing and thinking that we know things. Hi guys.
Hi.
Um, you know, it's hard. It really is hard, but it's learning. It's learning and
Words
growing. And I
matter.
think, yeah,
And
definitely,
sometimes we
definitely,
just regurgitate things because they were passed down to us or they're popular things
for
to
sure.
say. And it is a real awakening when you pause and look at words and terms and phrases you're using and actually look at if they really fit what you're feeling. It's kind of a little mind squirrel when you
Hmm.
do that, and you can kind of get stuck in it a little bit and go, that's actually not exact at all what I'm feeling, but I've
Because it's
been
habit.
trained to say it,
Yeah, of
you
course. Yeah,
know,
for sure.
and we have to say something to fill a void. So we
Hmm.
say what we've been trained to say, but does it even fit us? And then you go into the spiritual aspect of it, of we're saying these things and putting it out to the universe, but that's not even connected to how we're feeling. So what are we accidentally manifesting in our way? I mean, it can really trickle into, and kind of, I want to say like, you know how roots grow, weeds grow.
Yeah,
Invade
invade.
is a nice one.
Yes.
It can invade areas it should not be invading.
Yeah,
Um,
indeed.
if that makes
Indeed.
any sense. You know, I'm in
No,
a really
it's
weird space right now of
no,
thought
for sure, for
thinking.
sure.
And
And what's interesting is that it's so true. You know, it's because it's something that we've been trained to do. It's been trained to say, like, you know, in when well, I was talking about you know, stuff in the past when I was re-listening to these past episodes. You know, I was trained to think, or you know, I was brought up like, this is okay, you have to fix something, you go to therapy. You have to fix something, you go to therapy. And therapy was, you go to, for me at the time, was you go to that one person will tell you what to do, and within a few months you'll be fixed. I mean, when I came to you, yes or no?
oh yeah, you're like,
I'm
all right, so
telling you.
it's been 2 sessions, so I'm going to be better now. Or like, what steps do I need to go home and do to fix this now? Like that was a one and done thing. I'm like, oh no,
Yeah,
doesn't
it
work.
doesn't work like that, Steph.
No, I might even giggled a little.
Oh, you definitely did. You definitely did. You're like, well, it's a little different. You were very kind.
I try to be very nice and, you know, filter certain things. What I'd say now is like, girl,
Yeah,
no,
of
just
course.
absolutely
Yeah.
100% not.
You know, but that
I don't want
is,
to
you
scare you
know,
away though.
correct. And I greatly appreciate that because I probably would have.
You're like, yeah,
The yeah, bye. Okay, I can't fix this in 6 weeks. Oh, come on. Okay.
yeah,
You know, but that is unfortunately, that is a lot of what we think, you know, therapy is like, that's going to fix us. And that's, you know, people that are going, you know, years and years of like, and I even had a conversation with somebody very close to me and said, you know, why am I not over this? I know we're speaking over, but these were quoted words. Why am
through.
I
Let's
not?
go through.
Yeah, it's
Let's
like,
through
why am
everything
I not
over,
over
guys. We
this? I was like, I go,
coming.
can I be honest with you? I was like, you're never going to be over it, quote unquote. Like, it's something that's going to stay with you forever. It's just we have to learn things that'll help us kind of through this tough muddy parts.
Yeah. I like to, recently I've been playing with the idea of describing them as kind of like little tattoos, right? They're not scars. I don't like that word, you know, that's, but little tattoos, because I like tattoos.
Yeah.
So each of these are a mark that's on us, a tattoo. It doesn't have to be something that we can't work through. I don't know. That's just the terminology I'm kind of playing with now, converting it in my brain in that way. Because I often hear people say, well, I bear the scars and I carry the scars and it just feels so heavy.
It sounds
That
super
term.
heavy. Yes,
And
totally.
maybe it's because I really like tattoos and I'm like, okay, and it's permanent because these things, you can't just undo them,
For sure.
as you're getting over, going through, whatever. They become a part of you, but they don't have to become, now, don't shoot the messenger here. They don't have to become a forever painful part of you. How can I put this in the nicest way without dishonoring anyone's feelings or anything like that?
Yeah.
They don't have to destroy you. Now, am I saying this is easy? No. And currently I'm going through a thing too, but we're not going to get into that today. But, consciously learning more, sharing more, honoring where I'm at without going all, kind of spilling all over, but still honoring and not doing the thing we were talking about where you mislabel how you're feeling just because it's social etiquette sort of thing. Right.
Yeah, totally.
That's all little baby parts of this, the tattoo. So anyways, I'm sorry.
No, I really like that. No. I really like that because it is something that, yes, it's definitely a part of you forever. You're always going to hold on to that forever. And I like that kind of analogy of a tattoo because it's meaningful. And the reason why people put tattoos is because it has a certain meaning. There's an experience, there's a reason why that's there.
Yeah. And it's a permanent part of you.
Mm-hmm.
But it can hold a lot of emotions, not just sad ones, right? So
for sure.
Holly's like, because it takes it because it likes to rear its ugly head when you least expect it. Yes.
For sure.
Healing isn't linear. Oh my gosh, no. So that was back on what we were talking about, the up and the down and the not through, over business.
Yeah.
For sure. For comments, guys, we like that because this is a Q&A. I know we're talking a lot. We do have some questions and we're open to new questions too, but
yeah, totally.
Just reminding every so often, I'm going to remind the viewers on here.
No, and it's, and sometimes it's hard when you're having conversations like we have all the time, and sometimes, things get emotional, they get angry, they get, happy, they get sad because we're going through all these, it's real time. You know what I mean?
I was just thinking real time.
Yeah. It's all real time. And we're pretty freaking open about a lot of things that are going on because these are experiences and these are things that we're working through the healing as we speak sometimes.
Yeah. And we'll refer back at times too, once we've healed through something and readdress it. And that's what I want everybody to remember. And I apologize if I cut you off there.
No, you're good. You're good.
That allow yourself the grace to evolve through. You feel a certain way in that moment, but you're open to growing through that moment, and don't feel embarrassment if later on you don't feel that way or you say, oh, I shouldn't have said that. I shouldn't have, give grace and show that, hey, I evolved, and it's okay to do that. It's not that you're wishy-washy, in your morals or the way you are. You're evolving when you collect more information, and information is not only in here, it's in here too.
Definitely.
It's emotions. It's everything's information.
I believe it's also, it doesn't have a timeline. I have a lot of, people in my life that are older and they're like, oh, I don't do that, or I can't do that. I think, and I've heard this quite a bit too. It's interesting because I hear you cannot change anybody. This is, of course, our girl Mel Robbins. This was in her book. She says, you cannot change anybody. They have to want to change themselves. Mm-hmm. So you cannot push somebody into doing something that they are not themselves ready to do. So, going through different things in the last few years and stuff, I said, you know what? I'm going to keep on doing what I feel is right for myself, all the things that make me happy, all the things that energetically make me feel good. And if somebody wants to come along, enjoy the ride, I mean, I'm all here for it, but I can't force it down anybody's throat.
Mm-mm.
And
We
I
just plant the
think that
seeds.
was kind of like the hello lady moment. I was like, oh, okay, I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing. I'm here for it. If you want to learn, if you want to come and join the ride, absolutely. And I think that's why we really, honestly, why we started the podcast ourselves. We're here. We're going on the train. The train is moving. If you want to
Come
come and join the ride, absolutely welcome anytime. And if it's not for you, it's not for you, and that's okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
That is really okay.
Yeah. And it's a beautiful thing to be able to honor journeys, and to do our darndest. And I don't really think we've run into this at all. And I love that. To avoid any sort of competition or less than, because when it is unique journeys, it's not possible to be competitive. There is no such thing as competition because there's no two things alike. And as long, I think the goal again for whether it's podcasting, life purpose stuff, all of that is to continue to be open, have grace with yourself, and allow yourself to evolve and change into those things, and not say, well, gosh, I spent 2 years doing that and now I'm going to do this. Did I waste time? No, shush your mouth.
No.
Right now. It's part of the evolution. You had to do that to do this and to do the other. But I love the fact that, we don't fall into that. It's not even about that. It's join the ride. This is part of what we were guided to do. I know you were guided even beforehand. I mean, that was coming through in sessions and you're like, yeah, maybe. Yeah, we'll see. Okay. Yeah, maybe. I mean, we're talking a while, guys. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, because I started seeing you in 2019.
Mm-hmm.
And this is now 2025. So Yeah.
It's a hot minute.
Took me a hot minute, because, I don't listen. I'm stubborn. I cannot help it.
You're like, yeah, no, I don't think it's a great idea. No, not about that. Just in general, it's funny. Because, you have an opinion, you have your thoughts, you have things. And it's interesting watching over the years, and I'm sure you've seen it with me as well, how we have our brain set on a thing because we're go-getters. We have ideas, we have thoughts, we want to, somehow transform those thoughts into something consumable. But then the universe decides to tell us, well, how about this? Well, and you're like, I don't know. But I don't know about that, guys. I'm going to do this over. And then they end up circling you back anyways. Mm-hmm. And you just kind of giggle. You get to.
Yeah, because they put it into your vision or into your kind of movement of how you do things.
With signs.
To be able to expect, to be accepting of it. Mm-hmm. Because let's go back to, the first conversations with you. I was just like, oh, I don't know. But it kept on repeating and repeating and repeating. And like anything, life is about patterns. Yes, totally. Life is about patterns. And I think when we recognize those patterns and we actually listen and accept those patterns and be like, okay, this is coming up now 2, 3, 4 times. Like, let's not wait till 5 times. But, sometimes we have to wait till 5 times to be like,
you drop a mic.
Yeah, we're here. What's up, dude? Like, are you going to do this? Like, let's rock and roll. Like, because it's now time. Like, the jig is up.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting. And we've talked about different ways that both of us have received when we're trying to we're like have maybe things on the back burner a little bit. We're like, thank you for the sign. Okay, we'll get to that. But then they keep showing you, like this Egypt business. You're at a craft fair, it's all in your face. You're at TJ Maxx, it's all in your face. And they're just everywhere with this stuff, and you're like, fine. Okay.
Yeah, it's the reminder of like, don't forget about
Yes.
me. Here when you're ready, kid.
Have you guys listening? Comment if you are able to comment. Do you guys get repeat signs? Have you ever had a situation like that where you kind of maybe put it on the back burner and they're just keep poking at you? You're like pop-up ads in real life.
Yeah, pretty much. And that's
Comment
really
below
on what it is. It is absolutely insane.
The live.
Absolutely insane.
Water. I gotta stay hydrated, people.
Stay hydrated, kids. Take your vitamins and drink your water, guys.
Yes, our little family show.
The small things that we ask from our viewers and from our lovely people. Stay hydrated. Take your vitamins.
Yeah. So Trish comments,
"Oh, not at all."
Oh, girl, we know Trish. You get like, yep. They get sassy with you too.
Because I think we're. I mean, I myself, I know I'm stubborn as an ox for sure.
I don't know anyone like that.
I don't either. So and I know that from my mom was the same way. Like she's like, show me proof.
Yeah.
Give me the details. I need to see that in writing. How do you know that that's going to happen or that happened or whatever? Like she's like, I need proof. I need details. I need the data. Okay, I'll give you the data, Mom. And I am like that as well.
See, mine more, I believe, but I have a better idea. You know, I always think I got a better idea. Hold on, I got to do this, and they're just like, no, not a better idea. Okay. I used to see them like throwing their pens at the table, like, oh, for the love, this one.
Yeah, that sounds good, but
yeah, that sort of thing.
Funny.
So
funny.
We have some questions that
yes.
have come in, and would you like to address some of those?
Let's address them. Yes,
let's address them as best we can with the sass and the flair and the humor, because why not? Let's just talk. Why not?
Let's just chit chat. Little coffee talk. You got your coffee. I got my coffee. Let's coffee talk.
that guys.
That guys.
That way. Okay. That's interesting.
They're everywhere. The cameras are everywhere.
It's reversed in this, so it's weird because my camera's actually right there, but you're.
Oh yeah, I see it. I see it. Yep.
Yeah.
I see it. So do you have the questions in front of you? I couldn't find the ones that.
Oh my goodness. No, but I will. So you talk for a moment and I'll go find them. Guys, we're going to get it better together here.
We will. You know, there's been a lot of things going on.
Went on a very exciting cruise there, filled with energy and emotion and music.
Yes. So what Jamie is talking about is the Jam Cruise. If you guys haven't heard about the Jam Cruise, I was my first time 3 years ago when I first started dating my partner. And what was kind of cool, it was neat. So he was traveling that first year that we started dating, and we were meeting all his friends. Oh, these are, Jam Cruise friends, and other friends and stuff like this. I was like, I go, what is this Jam Cruise that you speak of? Like, what is this thing? So he's like, oh, it's basically a music festival on a boat. So I went for my first time, and, as we're walking up and stuff, like he was so giddy and so excited. And he's like, are you excited? And I'm like, I don't know. Honestly, I was kind of nervous. I was like, there's a lot of music. I don't know if I'm going to get sick off of the boat, if I'm going to be able to hang with everybody, because the music stopped, I think, until, 4:30 in the morning. So they would start at 7 or something like that. And to give you guys kind of a perspective, I think I counted my first time maybe 28 or 29 bands on the cruise. So everybody, what's really cool is that everybody plays twice. So you have an opportunity to kind of see everybody, if not a full set, a half set or whatever. And there's probably three or four, like three different, one, two, yeah, I think three different areas or four or five areas of where the music's going to be playing. So there's like a one, two, three, like four or five interior places, and then the pool. There's two on the outside, the pool deck, and then a smaller stage outside. So anyway, I was like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to hang. This is, my very first festival at 40 years old was, at Live Oak at Swanee Music Park. And it was a very small, maybe, 2,000 people in a very big park. It's really, it's very spacious, very nice, whatever. This is, 25, 3,500 people on a boat, and it's all people that are just there for the music. It's the musicians, their partners, the families, whatever, blah, blah. I was like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to hang. But that first set, that first night was Lettuce. If you guys have not heard about Lettuce, definitely go check out Lettuce. Lettuce on the pool deck was just the energy, because what I love so much about that cruise is like, it's not only the music, but you have you have the ability to have these amazing conversations with the musicians, the fans, and all this stuff. The people who just love music so much, number one. And everyone is just in this, like the same vibration. So to be able to be in a space where everybody's like on that same very high vibration was just something for me. It's like you can't really describe it. I think I felt it maybe more so because I've been tapping into my
Exactly.
energy and kind of like feeling all that stuff, you know what I mean? And it's just like it was really uplifting. It was really, really uplifting. And I was like, holy cow, like this is super cool. Like really, really cool. And we've met such really amazing folks that I've actually interviewed a couple of them. Some of them are, healers. Some of them are, therapists. Some of them, work in psychedelics, like psychedelics today, like just really interesting careers and really interesting like life paths. You know what I mean? So I'm very grateful for that community, and I'm very grateful for, those experiences, because like to be able to have that and to be able to really experience that was something like really, really cool. And it's so funny because I never knew about festivals when I was, young. It was not a thing. And
What?
Swanee festivals, like music festivals.
No,
Like I heard about the Lollapalooza and all that stuff, and I was like, oh, that's really cool. But I never knew that there was a music park in Florida. I never knew Live Oak was so close. Like I had zero idea, and I've lived in Florida my whole life.
Yeah. And what's interesting is, since you are very much in both worlds, you have a lot of, as we say, mundane friends and groups and stuff, but also very open and have spiritual connections with and know different practitioners and stuff. So it's interesting because many times in the spiritual world, when folks are starting in, they discover, okay, my clairsentience is, I'm feeling a lot of stuff. And, we won't get into too much the empath thing. Yes, everyone has the potential to be empath. It's kind of built into us. But there are some that just don't acknowledge it, don't open up to it. So, yes, everyone is one. But with that said, the clairsentience is it's one of the clairs that really pulls on that. It's like the big daddy of empath. So with that said, some of them, individuals that come up, they get a little overwhelmed in going to festivals and being around these spaces where the energy is so high all the time. And it's very interesting that I don't think you have ever had that. You're one of the individuals I've talked to that never really had that, it's overwhelming and too much as you were opening up. It just was a natural thing, like you were just born to do that sort of thing, which is curious to me because there's a lot of folks that, either students that I've worked with, or clients or something like that, or just in conversation at local metaphysical shops, coffee shops, talking about a period, and perhaps they're still in it, but sometimes it's just a period that they go through when they're opening up, that it's just too much and too overwhelming. Too intense for them. But it's curious that I've never once heard you say that this whole 6 years, and it's an interesting thing to just ponder on. I'm like, very interesting.
And it's funny that you say that, because I was listening to some audios and some recordings and stuff that I had on my phone, because I was just cleaning out my phone, and I remember this one. Say it again.
People do that. They clean out their phone. I'm horrible.
Oh, totally. Yeah. I was like, I don't need this stuff. And I was listening to something that I was to someone that I was connected to in the past and stuff. And I was like, I remember when I would tell Jamie that this particular person, I just felt so drained. And you taught me how to protect my energy whenever I go into different spaces.
Yes.
So since I've done that, I always do that every time I go somewhere, whether it's a festival, dinner, music, whenever I leave my house, I always say that.
Excellent.
Because I have noticed, I was like, I go, as someone who can kind of feel a lot of things, I need to do that. And I remember like a couple of times that I wouldn't do it, I would be so drained afterward. Like I would be like, oh yeah, we got to go. Like I'm exhausted.
Yeah, that is very interesting, because we've not talked about that. I don't like that. It's fresh information there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sure.
Jamie is pretty amazing like that. I know.
You guys.
But because I never knew that was even a thing. Like I had zero idea. I was like, I go, man, how am I going to be able to have conversations, not only with this person, but I think just in general, if these people are vampiring my energy, taking that energy, because it's a high vibration, or whatever the case may be, or whatever you were saying, I think at the time. Probably because you're learning to tap into certain things that maybe this other person wasn't able to, and they can probably feel that, so they want that,
Yeah, and it's not even necessarily on a conscious level. It's just their energy is like, oh, another resource. Sometimes, not always.
Yeah.
And that's what I really, really want to make sure of, is that people understand that they don't have to close back off. Like I don't want folks scared away, or worse, sitting in it, getting, so drained, and that they fall into a depression, or they, just some negative thing happens to them because they opened up. And it's kind of like you have this big metal jacket, and then you step into this and you say, okay, I'm ready to take the jacket off.
Yeah, I feel cozy enough to take off my jacket and stay a while. Yeah.
But then you have, stuff coming in, which feels good, stuff going out, which maybe feels good, maybe not. But then learning on perhaps how to put, a vest on or something, just not the metal jacket that you come into this world and it's kind of programmed into you to close off and shut that off and deflect and all that. You can be open and manage your energy to continue to give and receive and all of that stuff in a healthy way where it feels good, and you learn things. I want to say triggers, but that's not the word. You learn little signs of when there's starting to be an imbalance. Yes. And then if you have worked on your mental work and your emotional work, you don't freak out about it. You say, okay, I see what's going on here. They don't mean it. Let me do some things on the back end here so that I can stay in their space yet not feel in a negative way of some sort, not drained, not irritated, not that, there's things you can do without even saying to the person next to you doing, but you acknowledge it instead of freaking out, saying, I can't be here. Let's get the sage. I can't be here.
Right. Right.
Let's not be dramatic donkeys, guys. Yeah. That's my new word. I don't know how it's going to go over, but let's not do that. because all that shows, I'm going to just say it, all that shows is a weakness in your ability to manage your energy. It doesn't show that you're super cool or super empath or like, you know, the Marvel superhero of empathy. That shows a disadvantage.
Disadvantage on yourself being able to, or
Yeah,
not being able to kind of deal with whatever the situation
yelling to
arises.
the world that you can't handle your energy and stuff.
Yeah.
So, because I have been around situations where they get super dramatic donkey. Like everyone in the room has to stop and see what's going on.
Yeah.
You know, I'm like, whoa, Tiger, take it easy.
Yeah.
Just
I mean, I have as well. And even like, you know,
get over it.
just recently, and I was just like, I go, whoa, it was just it was a question. I don't need the whole song and dance and the arms and the flailing situation. Because I think for me, honestly,
Situation.
I am like literally flailing arms and I think for me, honestly, because the way that I was raised, I think for me it's the initial shock, like my mouth agape, like what the F? Like like, and that's why I think I don't really say anything to anybody, but I've come to kind of like I literally like retrace the steps in my head. I'm like, okay, this has been now the second or third time that this conversation has come up. Like, how do I want to deal with it? How do I want to kind of like nip it in the butt and be nice, but like, we don't need to talk about that. It's none of your business. It's just me. Like, we don't have to talk about that stuff or whatever that case may be. And I think sometimes it's hard because we are not like that with others. So and again, that fabulous E word, guys, that expectation
Right.
that somebody else is not going to be like that with us. And that is not the case. People have their own things, their own whatever that they're dealing with, and that we have to give space and grace for that, but also not be, how do you say this? Not be a mat, like a or
doormat.
Thank you.
So, you know, that sort of thing. Yeah.
Yeah, not be a doormat for their stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, this actually hits on one of the questions. It was asked, how can I develop a better sense of emotional resilience? That's what it says. So I think that kind of ties into what we're saying there of being able to manage your energy, set your energy, and that sort of thing. What do you think about this question here? How do you want to start with this one? How can I develop more of an emotional resilience? That's what this is.
More of an emotional resilience. I think for me, I know it is noticing why, the whys and the whats. I think for me is still that key thing that we've talked about since I don't know how long. Why am I feeling this way? Say it again.
Probably the 6 years.
Probably, yes. Yeah. So, what am I feeling and why am I feeling this way? What is that feeling and why am I feeling this way? Those two little W's have been so huge, I think, for me.
They're the key to so much.
Holy smokes, man. Yeah. It is wild. It is wild when you begin to use the whys and the whats in different emotions and different things that just shake your house. I call it shaking your house now. I don't want to use the T word anymore. That shake your house in a way that, oh, hey, I don't like that. Or wow, that was really powerful. I think for both ways. The shake your house moments that are like, oh, awesome, and oh, esh. I think when we use the whys and the whats for both of those situations, for both of those kind of things, we learn a lot about how to respond to different things, um, why certain things feel this way, and what we can actually do to work through them. For me, that has been like literally game changing.
Yeah. I mean, I couldn't have said that part better myself. I think, yes, that is the core of how to get through certain things so that you don't even need the resilience because it doesn't bother you. It doesn't trigger you anymore.
Doesn't
Or
shake the house. Doesn't shake the house.
shake the house. I was going to say rock the boat.
Or rock the boat. Yes, perfect. I love it. Rock the boat. You're in Florida. I shake the house. I'm enjoying it.
But also in a spiritual way, as you're going through that, understanding and tapping into what your body's feeling when that happens.
Yeah.
And the more you understand that, the more you know what to pull out of your tool belt as well. Spiritually, if you're going to be approaching this, the listeners are both, sometimes they're in this for DCNW, sometimes they're into spiritual methods, sometimes they're into the more practical methods. So we got methods for everything, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you can swing it however, but I always throw in a little bit of spiritual because that's how I roll.
That's how you roll. I love
it. So we have the more practical, okay, let's dig into this, the whys and the what am I feeling and why am I feeling it? But also at the same time, you can work in some spiritual techniques as well. Once you further understand how your physical body's feeling and your energy is reacting to this, and then apply. And sometimes you'll have to layer stuff that you've learned, and that's okay. Sometimes for this situation, if it comes up, you have to layer 3 of your tools from your tool belt on. But for this one tool will do it. And you learn what starts to work for you. And as these things get healed and you evolve, sometimes you don't even need tools anymore, So there is a bright side to this. You don't have to be resilient forever if you're doing the work. So,
which is key. Practice is key. And
we have to be willing to look. Yeah.
Oh, I mean, I am not a good person when it comes to the practice on certain things. On certain things, I'm like, oh yeah, all day long. Other things, I'm like, oh, I could use a meditation session.
Yes, we got to get you on the books too, by the way.
Yes, yeah, I was literally just thinking about that earlier today. I'm like, yeah, I gotta chat with her.
Yeah, you gotta make that happen.
Gotta make that happen.
Yeah. All right. So the next question is, I think we kind of covered that one. Let's pick one of these. We have a long list. I'm just gonna grab different ones so one individual doesn't get picked more than the others. Let's see. I like that. How can I better cultivate a positive mindset? That's a fun one to answer. You want to get that first? Your opinion? Your knowledge?
I think cultivating, was it positive mindset or
more positive mindset.
More positive mindset. I think showing gratitude or being grateful for the things that are present in your life now. And what I mean by that is I was actually listening to another podcast and he was saying, he goes, what I do every day is I say 5 things that I'm grateful for. And I try to do the whole year without repeating. And I said, I've done the 5 things, but I do repeat them. So I'm actually going to try to do 5 things without repeating. What happened? You got an electricity situation?
Hear that weird noise?
Yeah.
I did.
Someone.
Oh, I don't know. Tech. I hit a button and I was like, oh God, I don't know if everyone can hear this horrible noise right now. Oops.
I did, but that's okay. It's okay.
Sorry.
But
Universe, what's up? Why are you mad at us right now?
not mad, but just like just like a hey, how are you?
Yeah, a little something.
A little something, something. But I really like that, because we always say let's choose, 5 things, 2 things, 1 thing that we're grateful for that day, right before we get up, before our feet hit the ground, but not repeat them. I was repeating. I said, I feel like this is not that it's not beneficial, but I just felt like it was not, and I'll say it, it didn't feel genuine.
It got to be like rote memory. It got to be just kind of programmed in. It wasn't tapping in truly to that moment's gratitude.
Definitely.
It's
So
a little
when he
too
said,
general. You got to mix it up.
too general. And when he said, he goes, I say whatever the 3 to 5 things or whatever that I'm grateful for daily, without repeating them that year. I said, gangster, like that's what I'm going to do. So
I may repeat mine through the year, but I like what you're saying, to consciously find something new about that day.
Something new. Mm-hmm.
That's a beautiful thing. I'm doing that. I'm starting this afternoon,
cool?
and then I'll pick it up. Yeah, guys out there, who's listening? Hashtag pop in hashtag replay if it's later, or hashtag live now. What do you guys think about that? You guys ready to challenge with us? Find it. I say at least one thing. Let's start baby steps. That's authentically
I'm down
unique
with
to that day that you're grateful for.
Before your feet hit the ground, the minute you wake up those eyes, you open up, you stretch before those feet touch the ground. What is that one thing that you're so grateful for, and not repeat it? Starting tomorrow or today, whatever you want to start.
Yeah.
I thought that was super cool. I was like, I really like that, because man, was I repeating.
Yeah.
I
mean, I can tell you today, I think about it right now, is puppy cuddles. I mean, little Charlie.
Yeah.
I mean, he is such a good snuggler in the morning. Oh, I mean, you don't want to get up. It's just curled up. He's a little pup. He's a little fella. He's just curled up in that sweet little face. And, you don't have to have these grand things or think that, what I'm saying is puppy cuddles is just fine to be grateful
Not
for.
just fine.
Really it is exceptionally fine.
Mm-hmm.
It's whatever moves your heart and what you're truly grateful. You could be grateful for the first cup of coffee, or that you had milk today to put in the coffee. Mm-hmm. There is no test or comparison here. The only one is that it's authentic.
Yes. I love that.
That's my 2 cents on it.
I love your sense. No, because it's really true, because it's sometimes and I think that's the awesome challenge, is that the awesome challenge is getting really deep on gratitude and what you're truly grateful for. Not the physical stuff, not the whatever, but really getting, like, diving deep into that feeling of gratitude, and really truly, like you said, authentically feeling grateful for that thing. If it's a thing, an emotion, a puppy cuddle, whatever that is for you, like really diving deep into that. And Trish, I love you. Thank you so much. That's awesome.
Thank you.
But really, that's I think that's the challenge, and I really love that he was saying that. So yeah, I'm down for a challenge, people.
Let's do it.
I love it.
So
I love it.
I think, to hold us yet second level accountable, that if you choose where you're going to do it, maybe it's going to be on the Instagram, since those are the followers for DCNW on the Instagram, and I'll put it on the Lightworker pages. But whenever we can remember to do it that day, put what we were grateful for, and see if anyone else comments until we meet next. I mean, to really take it next level, instead of just our journals.
No. We're going to post it out there. We're going to put it into the lovely universe of the world. We're going to put our what we're grateful for out into the socials and all that jazz, because sometimes people need to see that. This lady's grateful for her leche and her cafecito. Yeah, I am too.
I know what to say because I'm practicing.
That's right, girl.
Hey, that's a goal for this year too, that I have not, I have to work a little harder at, along with the guitar playing, but the other stuff is coming along.
I like it.
Was
So speaking of your, look
look
at
at
that.
the magic in my hands.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it.
ADD.
So W is gonna go back to so he played sax when he was younger. So W is gonna practice his sax skills. And I was thinking, maybe I should practice my guitar skills, but I do have that handpan that is there that she's kind of yelling at me like, hello, any love you're going to show me here. So I think I'm going to work on that, but that's not a very, it's, I can't take it to the sessions. Like, hey guys, let's go hang out.
But I have a revolutionary thought for you here.
Okay, I'm here.
Why don't you work on both of them? What?
Oy vey. Oy vey.
What?
Do it. Yes. Because you don't just, not the just, I got to get that just out of here. We can do both because we're amazing and we can do everything.
When we manifest this or something better, we'll bring it. So let's bring that. I wish, my goal is to align with more regular guitar playing and musical experiences. This and something better. I don't know. However you want to say it. But you have the stand and everything. I saw it in the video. You can have it right in that room right next to you, and you can just do a little something on there and just do it. Say, okay, I'm going to do this before I go live. I'm going to do this before I do a recording or before I start my day. It could just be 2 minutes of it. And it's just kind of like, how I ding the bells and call in the guides before a session, every session. We just hit something.
We just did something. Ooh,
we just hit something. This is a special bonus if you guys have stuck with us for 57 minutes. Use it as a way to call in what you need for the moment. Like I'm going to call on my guide, say, let's rock and roll, baby. And you'll start to feel it in you. If you really embrace it, have fun with it. Who cares what notes come out? The point is you are making it happen. You'll be surprised. All right. That's a new blessing on your adventure.
Heck,
I don't know. Sometimes you write, sometimes you podcast. So I say adventure. So whatever's going on at your desk area in your recording office.
I like it. I dig it.
Yeah. Let's do it. Let's do it. I'm going to set mine back up again. I got my space. We'll do it.
Yeah. Yay. All right, guys.
It.
New things, new happenings, new feelings. How we feeling? How we feeling after the chat?
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling better.
I did miss because I can see it. I can see a little light.
And I want to set the handpan up. I call mine a tank drum. Mine's a little smaller than yours, I think. And it's built a little different too.
Is it like this
is big, but
okay. Yeah.
But yours, I think, is a true handpan, and I think mine's a tank drum. They make a similar sound, but mine's more like this, and yours kind of is like a spaceship.
Like a spaceship, correct. Hey.
All right. Any other questions, things you guys want us to hit before we round it out? And we are keeping notes. If we have not hit your questions yet, I have this handy dandy little document I created while we're talking because, my mind has different channels. Yes. And we will get to it. I've marked the questions from folks that we have already hit, and we'll hit more, and I will just keep adding to the list. When you guys email us, when you private message us, however you contact us, or leave the voicemail or the voice message on Spotify, right? Because on
they our friends took that off.
Oh, well, we don't have that part yet.
Yeah.
However, in Messenger,
send us a messenger voicemail. Yeah, we can record that. That's easy peasy. Sorry, Spots. I love you, but you're really
I do love a Spotify. It's probably the #1 listen to thing out there. But anyways, point is, find us there as well. If you've just joined us today, you can find us. Gosh, where? Why
So
don't you tell them?
we're on all the channels. So we are on the YouTube. This is going to be put on YouTube, which is fantastical. That's something new for us. We are on Spotify, Apple, Audible, Amazon. You listen to the podcast, you will find us pretty much anywhere and everywhere. iHeart, we're on iHeart.
Yeah,
We're
I thought that was
everywhere,
sad.
people.
iHeartRadio.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there are a lot of podcasts on there from the last 2 years, and we have, this one's a little more open and relaxed, and we just hit some questions or get a chance to see people live on here. I will do a bit better on promoting. Things have been a little squirrely in the
No,
schedule.
don't do that. Don't
Okay.
do that.
All
We
right.
did we
Just
we
because
are
this
we are
one-
good where we're at. We are practicing our thing. We're practicing, girl. It is all good. It is all good in the hood. We
You
are
see,
good to
guys, when I
go.
talk about support systems and having someone in the same wavelength and working on their spiritual stuff and, raising their vibration and having that one or two people around that'll catch you, that's a great example. There you are. That's a great example. There she is. Oh, forget it. This other person on the screen with me. Forget my pointing. It's awful.
Trish says yes, correct her. Yes, Queen. Got you. Got you.
Yes.
We're here for you, babe.
That's true.
We're here for you. That's it. That's it.
All right. So with that said, we're going to wrap it up, I think, and let you guys get on with your day.
I love it. Thank you so much, guys, for tuning in to our craziness. We appreciate you so much. And
Yes.
we'll do this again next month. We'll do it every month.
Yeah, the live stream every month, but there'll be another episode likely released next week. Does it come out on Tuesdays or Wednesdays now though?
So we're doing Tuesdays. Yeah, I have been on a hiatus, but I edited some things, so we'll be posting those within the next couple of days. So yeah, Tuesdays.
Awesome.
Yeah, we're gonna do Tuesdays. I'm gonna see how that feels, but I think I might go back to Wednesdays because it was really messing me up.
Okay. And the live streams, I think we decided that for the near future here will be on the first Tuesday afternoon
Tuesday of the month
of every month. So we can kind of count on that. Let's hope. Cross fingers.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, guys. Have a beautiful day. Thank you so much, Steph, for being a part of this.
Thank you, Jamie. We love you guys. Thanks so much. And everybody, give Jamie some big old love. Give her hugs, even if it's virtual. All right, guys. See ya.
Bye.
Bye.